Hello and welcome back. I am your darling little narrator, and I'm going to be your guide through the adventures of story time. And before we get started, I got to do a little housekeeping. What that means is if you have not subscribed to this channel, I am opening the doors and I'm inviting you, I'm letting you in to subscribe. So if you haven't done it, let's do that now. Okay? And while you're doing that, you can also click the bell next to it. Okay? That's your notification bell. That means every time a new story is posted, you will get a notice to let you know it's ready for you. Now, if you like a story that you are being read, let the world know. Smash that like button and let everybody know you like it. Okay? Now, if you're ready, go ahead, sit back, relax, and let me guide you into another adventure in story time. The name of this story is called Mine Will, Said John, by Helen Griffith, pictures by Josh Smith. John and his parents were at the pet shop. They were buying a pet for John. "I would like a puppy," said John. "Puppies are noisy," said his mother. "That is why we are buying you a nice gerbil." "Gerbils are noisy too," said John. "They cry at night." "Gerbils don't make any noise at all," his father said. "Mine will," said John. That night, John put the gerbil in a box by his bed. He climbed into bed and turned off the light. The gerbil began to whimper. Then the gerbil began to yelp. It yelped and yelped. John's parents came into the room. "Did we hear something?" asked John's mother. "The gerbil," said John. They all looked at the gerbil. It was curled up and sound asleep. "It keeps me awake," said John. John's parents looked at John. Then they looked at each other. The next day, they took the gerbil back to the pet shop. "It makes too much noise," John said. "Gerbils don't make noise," said the pet shop owner. "Mine did," said John. They exchanged the gerbil for a chameleon. "A chameleon will be nice and quiet," said John's mother. "Chameleons glow in the dark," said John. "They turn blue and pink and orange and purple." "Chameleons turn green and brown, that's all," said John's father. "They don't glow in the dark." "Mine will," said John. That night, John put the chameleon in a box by his bed. He climbed into bed and turned off the light. The chameleon began to glow. It turned blue and pink and orange and purple. The whole room began to glow. John put the chameleon under his blanket, but the colors glowed through it, purple and orange and pink and blue. John's parents came into the room. "Did we see something?" asked John's father. "The chameleon," said John. They all looked at the chameleon. It was lying on its back, sound asleep. "It keeps me awake," said John. John's parents looked at John. Then they looked at each other. At the pet shop the next day, John said, "My chameleon glowed in the dark." "Chameleons don't glow in the dark," said the pet shop owner. "Mine did," said John. I think we will exchange the chameleon for a frog, said John's mother. Would you like a pet frog, John? Frogs chew on furniture, said John. They chew all night long. John's parents looked at each other. Then they looked at John. John, said his father, pick out a puppy. Oh, good, said John. I want this one. He won't cry at night. He won't glow in the dark. And he won't chew furniture. He will always mind me. And he will love me better than anything. Now, John, said his mother, I don't think any puppy can be that good. Mine will, said John. And his was. Well, that ends our story. I hope you enjoyed our little trip into Storyland. I know I did. I also got something out of it. I got out it that determination does reach goals. They do achieve goals. And what that means is in the story, we saw how John wanted a puppy. And he wanted a puppy from the very beginning. And even though his parents really didn't want him to have a puppy because of all the things that come along with it, and that means sometimes with puppies, a lot of noise, a lot of chewing on furniture and things of that nature, what John did was he tried to show his parents that any other pet that they got him, he would still deal with the same thing. Although between you and I, we know really he didn't have to. But his parents, they knew. And they saw his determination. And in the end, they decided maybe he can handle having a puppy. With that kind of determination, I'm sure he probably did. So, until next time, my young readers, I am your little darling narrator, out.